Let me ask you, how sure are you that the world you see right now is actually the reality and not just a version of it that you have grown up with? Because if you were wrong, you wouldn't feel confused, you wouldn't feel lost, everything would remain normal. And that exact problem was discussed approximately 2000 years ago. It's called Plato's Allegory of the Cave. So, quick background: Plato lived in Greece around 400 BC. He was a student of Socrates, and unlike modern thinkers, he wasn't trying to make people comfortable. He questioned everything that people thought was obvious: politics, education, truth, and reality itself. His ideas usually come from dialogues, especially from a book called The Republic. And inside this book, there's a very short story that ended up becoming one of the most disturbing explanations of human behavior: the allegory of the cave. Imagine a group of people who have lived their entire lives inside a cave. They are chained from birth, they can't turn their heads, they can only look straight at a wall. Behind them is a fire. Between the fire and the prisoners, people walk back and forth carrying objects. The prisoners never see the objects, they only see the shadows moving on the wall. To them, shadows are the reality. They name them, they argue about them, and they form opinions and build identities around it. Not because they are stupid, but because they have only seen this from the starting. And that's all they have ever known. And now here's the part that matters. One prisoner escapes. At first, everything feels wrong. The light hurts his eye, the fire feels blinding. He doesn't feel enlightened, he feels irritated and confused. Slowly, he realizes that the shadows were not the real things, they were just reflections. Then he leaves the cave entirely and sees the world: actual objects, actual causes, and suddenly his old reality feels fake. Not evil, but incomplete. Now listen carefully. This is the whole point. The freed prisoner goes back into the cave to tell the other prisoners, and guess what? They don't believe him. They laugh at him. They say his eyes are damaged. They say leaving the cave ruined him. Plato is making a brutal observation here. People don't reject new ideas because they are false. They reject them because they threaten what already feels familiar. Truth feels dangerous when your whole identity is based on illusions. Now stop thinking about caves and let's jump back to the reality. Think about school systems, think about social media, think about news, trends, success definition, and those beliefs you never questioned. Most people are not dumb, they are just surrounded by the shadows they grew up with. Algorithms are modern cave walls. Opinions are repeated shadows. Validation replaces truth. And when someone questions the system, they don't get thanked. They are mocked, they are labeled, and they are ignored. Exactly like Plato describes. Plato is not saying that everyone that disagrees with you is asleep. He's saying that leaving the cave is uncomfortable. Staying in the cave is easy, and most people choose what's easy. So, what's the solution then? Is Plato saying everyone should just wake up and leave the cave? No, Plato is not that naive. His solution has three parts, and none of them is easy. First, education. Not as memorizing facts. Plato meant education as learning to question what you see, learning to ask why instead of just accepting what is familiar. Second, personal responsibility. No one can pull you out of the cave. If someone drags you out to the light, you will fight them. The turning of the head has to be voluntary. You have to choose discomfort over familiarity. And third is the part that most people ignore: accepting isolation. Plato knew that the people who leave the cave often don't fit in anymore. They see things differently. They ask annoying questions. They are misunderstood. You don't need to destroy your all beliefs. You don't need to reject society. You just need enough awareness to ask a simple question. Is this something that I have actually examined or just something I have inherited? Because the moment you start questioning the shadows, the cave already start to lose power over you.